Okay, it's time for another test session. So what we're going to do this time is, this is about a, I don't know, 7-8 minute video. And we're going to be comparing lap times. So right now it's just before dark. And I'm going to make some laps here just to get some time reference. And we're actually starting the time as I pass through the trees right here. So that's where the time's going to start in this video. So I'll be timing both these laps here, which is there's still a little bit of daylight left, as well as timing whenever it's completely dark. So you can see I'm down in the low 14s, between 15 and 14 second laps. So we'll do one more. Let's see what this one here winds up being. And it looks like 15:25, so about 15 second, between 14 and 15. And now we're going to do some laps in the dark. So just going to get a reference. I'm looking right now, just get around the course. Now, a couple of things you might notice. There's a couple of markers that are, I'm using PVC with the reflective tape. And that marker you see right there is a cone with a light underneath it. And that other marker that you've seen there is actually a sign across the street. So there's two markers that are PVC with the tape on it. That was a 1766 lap. So there's the marker with the light underneath it, and that's just a plastic cone. And you see there's two markers there, one sticking out of the dirt. I'm going to wind up moving that one. But again, there's the cone with the light underneath it, and there's also some cones after that cone. Sometimes there you can see one, and they're spaced out. Now you can see that I did move the reflectors. Now we've got the reflectors down the center lane, if you will. So I'm using the reflector as a center mark. So I want to fly over the reflector, not between them. And there again, you can see the light underneath the cone. A couple of cones there. You can see that reflector just off to the right there as we went through. That was an 1858 lap. So let's take a look, and you're going to see another change here. So you notice there was one cone that was lit and the reflectors down the center, but here in a minute I'm actually going to put a second cone that's going to be lit. I'm actually going to take my phone and stick underneath the cone and turn the flashlight app on, and that way I'll have two lights down there. So we'll see how that looks. That was a 15:56 second lap. So that was almost as fast as we were running in the daytime. And you see that concrete pad. I'm always looking for that concrete pad. There's a 17:05 lap. 2 seconds off the pace, if you will. Now you can see two lights down there. I've taken my phone and put underneath one of those cones, so I've lit two cones now. And if I'm on track here, you'll be able to see the reflectors. Notice you didn't see well, they were off to the right. If I go right over them, you can see them very clearly. We'll see where I wind up this next lap. But there again, you can see those two lit cones. One has a flashlight under it, the other one has my cell phone under it. Now you can see that light right under us. And those two lights you see there in the distance, those are actually street lights that are way down the road. Here again, two lit cones. Make the turn and see a couple of cones. Now you're going to see those reflectors. And now you see the street lights way down the road. 16:36 lap, not too bad. So we're going to continue on. There's those two cones with the lights underneath them. And we're going to be looking for the reflectors. We did see the reflectors, and that's because we were off course. And still a 16:21 lap. So let's see where we go this time. There's the two lit cones. There's a reflector off to the right. A 15:11. We're getting faster. And again, the two lit cones. Those cones really show up when you put a light under them. There's a couple of cones that don't have lights. There's the reflectors. And a 1483. Wow, we were 1420 something, 1424 or something in the daytime, and a 14, what was it, 83? in the night, so not much difference in time there. There's the reflectors again, and a 1596, so almost 16-second lap. So now you got one cone down here that's lit, and then we have another cone up after we pass through the trees, so you'll get to see those in just a second. There, if you look ahead, you see a light, and that's actually a cone with my cell phone under it. So I've moved it down on this end of the field. So now I have one cone on either end of the field that is lit. There you can see that one cone lit. We're going to go around it, and as soon as we go around it, we'll see that concrete pad. Now you see that cone in the far distance, but now you can also see those reflectors. That's an 1861 lap. And I think here I'm not really trying to go fast. I'm trying to illuminate my targets so that I can get familiar with where they're at and what I'm supposed to see. So there's two reflectors, one reflector, and then the lit cone. We'll go around it, and now we're going to go straight down, head to that cone down in the far distance. You see it there. Make the turn. We should go over the concrete pad and come around. There's the reflectors, 2 and 1, and then the cone. 1680 lap that time. There's a single cone again. Make the turn over the concrete pad, down through the trees. There's 2 reflectors, 1 reflector, and the light. 1663 lap. So, and you know, whenever I was flying this, I didn't plan on recording the lap times, but probably just as well it did, because it gives you good reference. There was that lit cone, concrete pad, 2 reflectors, 1 reflector through the trees, and around that cone. 1775 lap. There's the runway, down the runway, looking for that lit cone right there, concrete pad coming up, and continue around the turn. Head for that lit cone down there, 2 reflectors, 1 reflector, and through the trees. 1761 lap. So, in closing here, let's just say that we're trying different things, lit cones, reflectors, shining spotlights. There's some video of all the different scenarios, and hopefully everybody get their equipment up and running again, and we'll be able to get more footage and figure out what's going to work best. Again, we're looking for the point where there's no light, and tonight I did have a half a moon, so with a half a moon, that's sort of cheating. We want to find out what we need to fly in total darkness. So I guess we will see you next week.